Good morning, Seaside. That is our very own Seaside band. We get to be blessed to hear every Sunday morning. Good morning, good morning. It is my honor to get us anchored in this morning. Hope everyone's having a beautiful Sunday, beautiful weekend. Take a look inside yourself and know you are enough. Be patient as the Spirit grows within. Don't put your life up on the shelf whenever times get tough. You've been created to take a look inside yourself and know you are enough. Be patient as the Spirit grows within. Hey, don't put your life up on the shelf whenever times get tough. You've been created to Thank you, Seaside.
Rebecca, that was beautiful. I just am so moved when you sing that song.
Thank you so much.
A great way to start. Hey, good morning, Seaside. To all of you that are here and those of you who are at home, just welcome to Seaside, a thriving spiritual community, inspiring us to live our divinity. So how are we doing? Yeah, hey, you're out and about. Yeah. Hey, how you been?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Chilling.
Yeah. Get home at a decent time last night?
Oh, no.
No, yeah, you're a musician.
I got home when you got up. No,
oh, yeah,
I'm kidding. Not that late.
Good.
No, but good. Actually
right.
going to be blessed to sing at graduation today. So I'm super fortunate.
Nice.
Today's the graduation.
Big day.
Seaside graduation. All of our ministerial students and
the practitioners too. Yeah, that is fabulous.
Yeah.
Well,
how are you?
I'm good.
You were traveling and stuff.
I just got back from Montana.
Fantastic.
You know, Callie said, hey, I think you should run there for a few days. I said, that sounds good to me, hon. Thanks. And we got these direct flights. I didn't realize there was a list of honeydew things waiting for me at Montana. So I was doing the last of them as my ride to the airport arrived on Friday. So, but anyway.
Multitasking. So.
The guys don't multitask very well. Anyway, but I'll tell you what we do have going on right now that's really good is we have the teacher of all our graduating practitioners to do the invocation here this morning.
That sounds perfect.
And we have the wonderful Deb Sadler, a true educator from the educational system of life. And congratulations on your graduates today. We're excited for you and for them.
Thank you, Dr. Christian. Good morning, Seaside. I am going to light the candle that represents the light that resides within each and every one of us. And I am going to strike the singing bowl to put us into coherence. And I invite you to join me in the stillness. On this sacred day of graduation, it is a beautiful expression, opening the floodgates of joy and peace and harmony. For I know there is one creative source that lives, moves, and has its being in all that there is. There is only one power, one presence, and one mind. For there is a universal intelligence that is everywhere present, and it is always creating out of itself. And it is a power for good. I am one with this creative source that moves through me, because I am a divine expression of the one. And as this is true for me, this is true for each one within the sound of my voice, that we are all created as a light force for good, for harmony, for love, and for joy. And so I know this service is blessed. I know that each one here contributes their consciousness to the expression of the divine. I know that Dr. Christian's words about having faith in the middle remind us that we are magnificent in every stage, in every application of our lives. And so I just allow this service to unfold, knowing that each person here adds a beauty and a grace and a love to this experience.
Blessings and grace, love overflowing, joy in this place. Spirit is showing blessings and grace. Mind, body, soul, and I am one with God. Blessings and grace, love overflowing, joy in this place. Spirit is showing blessings and grace. Mind, body, soul, and I am one with God.
Thank you, Rebecca, for reminding us that we are truly one with God. Thank you, Deb, for anchoring us so beautifully in prayer, our teacher of our practitioners. Hi, I'm Reverend Debbie McDonald. It's my joy to be with you today. Y'all are so good at sitting, where you're supposed to and doing all the things you're supposed to do, And just once we've learned it all, we're going to get to undo it all, which will be a wonderful thing. Today is graduation, as you heard mentioned, and I want to just let you know that graduation is a closed graduation this year. It seems to use the words like closed or limited or anything like that up here on this stage just feels so weird because it's so not Seaside, But with all that's going on in the world, last year we did not have a graduation. And this year we are able to have a graduation, but it is limited to the graduates, the ministerial graduates, the practitioner graduates, and their families. So yes, it's beautiful to be able to have it. I have a couple of announcements for us today. Oh, one thing I do want to mention before I get going on those is if you have your phone, click and say that you're here at Seaside. Check in. Let people know that we are here, that our doors are open for both of our services. Those of you online, we're so grateful that you continue to watch us online, live stream. So grateful. But those of you, just let people know that we're here, and then you can silence your phone after that. But check in first. We're just wanting people to know that we're here. Marv's going to do some slides that follow along with my announcements this morning. And the first one I want to let you know about is basic beliefs. We do the basic beliefs of Science of Mind the first Sunday of every month. Normally it's myself that's leading the hosting the Zoom room. It's a Zoom gathering, so we'll do it about 12:30 today. If you're new to Centers for Spiritual Living, if you're new to Science of Mind, jump on there and just get some of your questions answered. We talk about, the basics, what it is that we believe, what it is that we're about. So if you have any questions, please join us at 12:30 today. Those of you online, those of you around the world, feel free to click on. The Zoom link is on our website and it's on our Facebook page. Also, we have our Paver Legacy program going on right now. Several years ago, when we took the grass out of our meditation garden, we put pavers in because us ladies found that our hills were just sinking in that grass. That was the reason I remember for doing it, but of course, I'm sure there's other reasons. But we put the stones out there, and at that time, many of us purchased a paver, and I think we've done it one time since then, and we're doing it again right now. It's our Paver Legacy program. We have 100 pavers that are up for sale. We've sold some already, but please know it's a place where you can honor a loved one, where you can honor, I heard Patrick say, where you could honor a pet, where you can just say congratulations to somebody that you love, where you can just remember your connection with the divine. So you're able to put whatever it is that you want on that stone, and it'll be put out in the garden and be there for many, many years to come. I want to talk just a minute about our new website. First of all, I want to acknowledge the hours and hours and hours and hours and hours that have gone into creating this new website. We had the gift of Jennifer's son, Michael, creating the framework for us and getting it up and running. And we have the gift of Jennifer, who's continued to hone it and make sure all the links are working and continue to add to it. Jennifer, would you just stand? She has done an amazing job. Truly, burning the midnight oil to do all that she's been called to do here at Seaside. But one of the things last week we heard that a few of you had trouble finding our prayer room, and I want you to know that our practitioners are still praying after service in the Zoom room. And starting in July, they're going to be here in person to pray with you after service. Yes, I know. But for now, what I want you to know is you go to the website and you see up in that top corner where the little arrow is, it says prayer and care, I think, or prayer and care. Is that what it says, Jennifer? Click on that link, and that'll take you directly to the Zoom link that you click on that takes you to the prayer room. And when you get to the prayer room, one of our practitioners will greet you and put you in a private Zoom prayer room with a practitioner where you can receive private prayer. So the website is designed that it takes no more than 3 clicks to get anywhere. So it's a little bit different than our old website, but I want you to know that everything you need is up there. Now, if you're looking for an event or you're looking for a class, you go to the What's Happening link on the side menu, and at the bottom of that page, you're going to see this. And you've got events, education, and connection groups. So anything that you're really looking for is in one of those 3 boxes. Right now, we have links in the event group in the event page to our connection groups. But you really can go directly to the connection group. For example, Seaside Sisters is having a summer solstice event coming up on the 21st here, and also there's another event, a daytime retreat for the women that's on there. So you can either go to connection group and go to the Seaside Sisters connection group, and you'll see everything that's happening with the Seaside Sisters. Or for now, you can go to the event page, but we really don't want you to think about that being the event page. The event page really can be for big events. But for now, you can go there. You can click on Seaside Sisters, and it'll take you to the Seaside Sister page. So everything you need's on those 3 boxes mostly, and 3 clicks away. So just know that. So, get on there and practice. Check it out. It's really a beautiful website. Also, this week, Wednesday evening, we are doing our Wednesday night Connect at 7 p.m. on Zoom. And Jennifer Diallo is our speaker this Wednesday and our leader. And she's talking about lean into discomfort. So how many people are willing to do that? Like lean into the discomfort, right? That's what we're going to talk about on Wednesday night, so join Jennifer for that. And I think the next thing we have is our beautiful Rebecca Jade, who is the most fabulous singer performer in San Diego. She's won all kinds of awards, but she is up again this year, and we want to vote for her, so we keep that on. And that's how you do it. You go there and you can vote for Whitney. You can vote for Carissa Renner is at Rosa's Cantina, and then you've got Rebecca for Song of the Year and Video of the Year. If you have not seen her video that she created with Jason Mraz, Bad Woofs, very powerful video. Check it out. So that's what is going on at Seaside just right now. We've always have things going on. Our bookstore is back open. If you haven't been in it, go in and check it out. Kathleen White has taken the lead as the new bookstore manager. So if you see Kathleen, say hello to her. She's in there making sure it all runs beautiful for you. And Barbara King has stayed on as our gift buyer. So those 2 ladies are making sure that your bookstore has everything that you want it to be. So today, Dr. Christian is talking about faith in the middle. Faith in the middle. And I'm going to be reading from Living the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, which is a great little companion book to our Science of Mind textbook. It's very readable, very understandable. It's a great introduction to the Science of Mind textbook if that seems to be a little bit not making sense to you. This one seems to. So I'm going to read on belief, faith, and prayer. And the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up. James 5:15. What then is the prayer of faith? Jesus clearly taught that spiritual power works through man at the level of his belief, implying that it would work as he believed and that while he believed. He ascribed a mighty power to belief and to faith. And we find that throughout the ages, faith has been honored. Most certainly, some people's prayers have been answered, but not all persons' prayers have been answered in the way in which they wish them to be answered. How are we going to account for the fact that one person's prayers are answered and another's are not? Must we admit that there are degrees in which prayers are answered? And if so, why? Is one man's faith better than another's? Is God more pleased with one man's petition than another's? It seems a pretty tough problem until we understand what Jesus meant when he said, "Go thy way, and as thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee." Faith is an affirmative mode of thought. Faith says, I can, rather than I can't or I shall not. We can learn to have faith in abundance rather than in poverty. We can change our thought in regard to lack. That is what treatment is for. Instead of saying, there's not enough good to go around, we say, all the power there is devoted to my good. I am not afraid of poverty because all the power there is devoted to giving me abundance. God provides me with every good thing today, every day, always. Such statements as these will change our belief from denial to one of positive faith. Whatever we can have faith in and having faith in can understand, we may experience according to the law of cause and effect. This law is immutable, invariable, unassailable, and absolute. And so it is. God bless you. Glad you're here today.
What a beautiful reading, Rev Deb. Thank you so much. Good morning, Seaside. It is my honor on Sunday mornings to get to introduce our guest artists. Oh, spinning on me. And he's incredible. We're kind of newly friends, but we've been in the same circle for quite a long time. And remember when I mentioned that I did a Woodstock show a couple weeks back? Well, Gregory and I got to do that actually together. He is another one of the artists on there. He's incredible. He's an incredible songwriter, incredible singer, and just an incredible person. I'm so blessed and grateful that he agreed to join us today. So let's give a warm Seaside welcome to Gregory Page.
Thank you so much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for inviting me.
My pleasure.
When I first got the message and you said, show up for rehearsal at 8 o'clock in the morning, I got a little nervous. I've never sang so early. I never even got up so early. Miracles can happen. I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a song that I hope speaks to you as much as it speaks to me. I didn't realize how much it spoke to me until I finished writing it. It's called Green Lights and Blue Skies. My hope for you all along has been take care of yourself. To your heart be true, sing your own song, don't follow everyone else. And may all of your dreams come true. And when you think you've lost your way, those thoughts are just not true. Don't let them shake, don't let them rattle you. 'Cause every day's a new day. Count your blessings, I say. Get out of your own way so you can move. Don't look behind and ask why. My ticket is for one ride. Green lights and blue skies are on their way. Oh, they're on their way.
Always been a real love you'll find. True happiness that brings you out the best. You both shine. 'Cause in this crowded world that's hard to find. And when you think you're moving slow and everyone flies by, it ain't true, don't let it fool your mind. 'Cause every day's a new day. Count your blessings, I say. Get out of your own way so you can move. Don't look behind and ask why. Our ticket is for one ride. Green lights and blue skies are on their way. When you break down, make it a breakthrough, and do exactly what you're allowed to do. Day and night, life is dark and bright, and together with your shadow you'll get through. Every day's a new day. Count your blessings, I say.
Get out of your own way so you can move. Don't look behind and ask why. Our ticket is for one ride. Green lights and blue skies are on their way. Oh, they're on their way.
And that is Gregory Page, along with Rebecca. Green lights and blue skies. That's a good way to go through life, isn't it? Like, bring it on. So, hey, it is graduation day around here at Seaside and actually at a lot of schools across the country. And it reminds me of that story that is told, supposedly a true story, from the University of Maryland. A number of years ago, you might remember when the court said that God could no longer be told in schools and prayer could no longer be said. And so on this graduating day, these 92 students filed down 2 by 2 in their maroon robes, looking quite distinguished, finding the seats in the auditorium that was full, and the dads, choking behind their big smiles, and moms, bashfully, wiping away their tears as the kids came down. And the participants were very respectful of the court order, no mention of the divinity or the blessings of spirit. The student speakers were good. The principal didn't say anything about it. And it was going along just following the mandates that had been put out. And the last speaker, a young guy, came to the podium and just stood there. He just stood there in the silence for a moment. Then all at once it happened. All 92 students sneezed. And he said, "God bless you." And the place erupted into applause. It's like, whether with or without the blessings of the court, God bless those families and those kids as they move forward. And so Spirit's there, and it is so important for us to remember Spirit, particularly when we are in the middle of a situation. And so it's easy to acknowledge God and that presence and the blessings when you get the idea. And on this graduation day, it's easy also to feel the presence of God at the end. There's excitement, there's celebration, but it's the middle part that I want to address here today, because it is in the middle that it is the long nights and you can become discouraged. And I worked out this idea a little bit during our days when we were like mandated to stay outside. It's the middle of winter, and I started talking about keeping faith in the middle, because we were saying you can't come back inside ever again. It wasn't quite like that, because we knew. We kept the faith in the middle. Ernest Holmes says faith is an affirmative approach to reality. Faith is what we want to do so we can begin to create that space for Spirit to show up in a new way. Because God, if you didn't know, has a lot of ideas on how to get around the mandate that says you can't talk about Spirit. It's like there are more ways, but you got to be open to it. Carl Sagan, he said that there are incredible ideas that are waiting to be known. But are you available? Are you able to have faith when it's looking, ominous and impressively scary before you? When your head is filled with the doubt, you're not quite as available. Yeah? And people will sit there generating fear. You want to move through it? You got to get up and get moving. You got to get some action going on. You've got to allow your mind to be calm. You are more available when there's not anxiety and calm that is going on. But it's up to you to decide. Maybe have faith here. I'm in the middle of this situation, and I can feel the anxiety, the concern, the fear rising, but I'm not going to go there. On this graduation day of ministerial students, I've worked with a number of them with homiletics, which means ministerial speaking. You come out here and you do your shtick. And I work on building that level of confidence. And I've heard through the years, what happens when I'm out there candidating for a pulpit. I'm kind of, I got this nervousness or this anxiety that is going on. I say, you show up and you do your thing, and if you blow it, it's okay. Well, if they don't like you, if you don't like you don't ever have to go back to that community again. You're never going to see those people again. You don't even have to go that part of the country ever again if you want. And if you're really feeling bad, you can build yourself a bunker and live off the land. Don't give a forwarding address and just live that way. Just want them to know you have options if your mind is not closed down. But you also have to live with that cowardiceness. You've got to live every time you walk by a mirror and you look in it and you see that face that is in there. And so the best way through the middle with faith is mileage. Is mileage. You just got to keep putting in the miles. You got to keep doing it. You got to keep doing it. And then you got to keep doing it some more. So you move through that resistance that is there. Ernest Holmes tells us that the entire world, that's a lot, the entire world is suffering from just one big fear. The fear that God will not answer our prayers. Think about it. If you knew your prayers were answered, would you have any anxiety or fear? Of course not. You wouldn't. It's done. It's handled. And what is fear? Ernest tells us that fear is nothing more or less than the negative use of faith. You're using faith, and you're using it in the middle. Now, you can use it to, spiral down, or you can use it to lift you out. You can be locked out and still have faith that you are coming back into the kingdom. You're coming back into that presence of God. But you're the one who's got to create the space for possibilities. And there's many things that are possible when you don't know they're impossible. You're the one who's got to be able to have the faith in the middle. I love the story about possibilities and having faith. Was Sarah Blakely. I love this story. This young woman was going to a summer party, and she had her pair of tight little white pants she was going to wear, and she didn't want a panty line in them. So, she got a pair of nylons, and she cut the bottom off. And in that moment, a whole new industry was created, shapewear. And so she went on, and here she is in the middle. She's got this idea. She has this grand vision. It's good at the end. It's exciting at the end. In the beginning, it's adrenaline. It's exciting. But at the middle, she had no money. But she went on and started her own company that she still owes today. It's called Spanx. I don't know if you ever heard of it. I don't know what it is. But it's an interesting story that she is now a billionaire today because she had faith in the middle until Oprah gave her a call, and then boom, just sent her in a rocket ship to far places. But I share that story because you've got to have faith in the middle when you're not quite sure. You got this idea. The end is good, but the beginning, I don't know. And here's the interesting part. David, King David, from that black book you have at home, it's called the Bible. There's a story in there about, I don't know if there's this, I'm embellishing this, my interpretation. God saying, hey, David, you want to be king? You can have all this. Now, this kid's pretty good deal, count me in. There's the beginning. I'm excited. There's the end. Man, I got a throne. This is good. See, the part that tends to be left out of the vision is what's in the middle. He left out the part, oh yeah, David, by the way, you got to go face this giant. And you're not very big, so you got to do something differently to get through this situation here. And oh yeah, and that guy you're working for, that king you're working for, he's probably not going to be happy about you being the next king. He's probably going to try to kill you, And it's all of a sudden you said, I may not want this job, this vision. See, that's the thing. If you notice about visions, you're not given all the nuts and bolts and the nitty gritty and those things you got to struggle through to get there. When we caught the vision of buying this property, you've heard me tell this story. We bought it in '98. We saw it just a beautifully filled place, graduations, children's church, a healing community. Bought it in '98, and the city didn't want to change the zoning, so that took us a year and a half. So all of '98, all of '99. Finally, when we got the zoning changed, that's 2 years, now we're into the year 2000. It took a year to get the permits, to get the neighbors to sign off, to get everything going. So that's 3 years. And in this time, we're paying rent where we're at. We're paying a mortgage where we're at. I'm having to raise money. See, Spirit didn't give this as part of my vision. The 4th year it took us to build this place. It was 4 years before we ever moved in here. If I had been seeing all that, I would say, I'd want one already ready to go. But it's so much better that we created all of this ourselves. The ground you're standing on has the blessings, like the pavers out there, that has people's blessings we're sitting on. See, you don't necessarily know, but you've got to have a faith. You've got to have a trust. Les Brown said, the wonderful motivational speaker of our time, he said there's so many of us not living our dreams because we're living our fears. Yeah? How are you using your faith? Down or up? The choice is yours. I like what Bobby McFerrin saying. He said, in life, there are troubles, but when you worry, they double. So don't worry. Be happy. It's like, yeah. So I ask you, when you're in the middle and you don't know, you're the one who's got to choose to call in the faith, the greater vision, the greater possibility of what is seeking to unfold within your life. You've got to call in your imagination to have you go up. The imagination is what makes you unique. It's what makes you different. It's what calls in that presence and the possibilities. Mark Twain said, don't ever use your judgment when your imagination is out of focus. It's like, if that part isn't clear for the greater possibilities of what's going on, all of a sudden, you are not that place where Spirit can show up and make things new. And you don't want to be one of those who gets to the end of your life and realizes how much more wonderful it could have been if you had not been afraid to live it. So I'm telling you right now, don't get discouraged when you're in the middle. You know where you're going. It's going to be good when you get to that graduation, the commencement, the finish line. If you ever had a child, you remember, the day, it was fun working on it. And then you had the baby and the excitement and the possibilities. You saw that moment of graduation, and it's exciting. But in the process, there's something in the middle. There's something called the teenage years, when you're sure it's not your child, that you're willing to go get your DNA checked to make sure it is. You see, but it is a faith in that moment that knows. It knows that this is the affirmative approach to reality. I'm not going to give in to the situation. I'm not going to use my imagination to go down. The Course in Miracles, it talks about who would attempt to fly with the teeny wings of sparrow when you've been given the mighty power of the eagle within. Why? Are you going to make it tough on yourself? You are that place where the divine touches down. You're sitting on the border. You are the differentiation of the undifferentiated. That sounds fancy, huh? Anyway, Ernest Holmes, he wrote about this a bit. He said in his book, The Essential Earnest, he wrote that a new light is coming into the world. We are the borderland of the new experience. And the veil between the spirit and matter is very thin. The invisible passes into visibility through our faith in it. Got that? The invisible passes into visibility through our faith in it. There are miraculous possibilities. Carl Sagan, incredible things wanting to be known. You are the place where the unstructured, infinite potential begins to take forth with your faith. Is it a positive faith? Is it a negative faith? What is it that you're using to bring into this world? There is a power. There is something that is seeking to have its way into life, and you become that place in which it is going to happen. And you're in the middle. You left somewhere and you're going somewhere and you're in the middle. Am I going to continue to remember to practice faith and to believe in the presence of God? Because if not, there's a lot of techniques out there. You may have seen all the classes that are available. And these days, Zoom, you don't even have to leave your house. There's a lot of ideas how you can make it through the middle in your life. There are a lot of strategies and statistics and classes and webinars and there's the secret tips on how to make it. They are so secret that they're broadcast across the internet to tens of millions of people. But what I'm trying to get at, there are so many of these different ideas on how to make it that you're like a kid in the middle of an intersection in downtown San Diego. The cars are whizzing by, the horns are honking, cars are screeching, vendors are hawking their wares, and it's like, wow! It's enough to make your head spin. I tell you, find one strategy. Maybe two, but you keep it simple. You keep it simple. You don't need to have a gazillion things that's only going to fluster you. You want to allow yourself to be available, because people wonder, you start all these new things, how's it going to work? Is it going to work? Am I going to be good enough? All these different ways. What you want to do is work with something. One of them, not a dozen of them or 100 of them at a time. And by all means, you just turn on YouTube and you can have all the different strategies for success that you want in the ABCs, but you find one or you two. And then when you go to walk out on the stage, you realize, hey, this is me. You find it by listening to your soul. This is mine. This one feels integrity to me. It's like the bass guitar, boom. It's just, yeah, that's mine. I'm going with this. I'm putting my faith as this system being my delivery. I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to be an expression of the Spirit in my life and in my world. But people will say, but I'm afraid that I'm not going to be good enough. It's a valid question, but that's the wrong question. The question is, are you willing to be good enough? Are you willing to put in the time and the work in the middle, getting locked out of where you think you should be? You're having to put in the time late at night studying. That website looks fabulous. I was excited when you showed it to me months ago, Jennifer. But if I had to put in all those late hours for free, well, not free, it's the gift of your heart, I know. But all those days and weeks and hours to make it look so simple, it takes a lot. When you're in the middle, you've got to have that strategy. We go with spirit. The God is my rock. I have faith in the presence of God here, and this is the time. I don't need a lot. I don't need 100 scooters to get across town. I've got a rocket ship. You're an astronaut. You have got a rocket, and God has got your back. Go with that one. There is something that will allow you to step forward with a sense of confidence that you have what it takes, because you do. You are the presence of God. And when you are in the middle, I want to let you in on this secret. There is as much of the infinite that is omnipresent in the middle as there was in the beginning when you caught the vision, and at the end when you cross that finish line, say, hey, I'm a champion. You're a champion now. You're an astronaut now. You have got the rocket ship to where you're going now. You don't need 100 scooters to get across town when you've got the transportation and Houston, God has got your back on it. You got to know it when you're in the middle. And so I'm just here to remind you today that the beginning is exciting. The end is fun, but it takes faith in the middle to get it done. God bless us all. I love you. Gregory, another song for us.
Amazing. Thank you for that reminder.
Yeah.
I needed that. I suffered from stage fright for so many years. I just couldn't handle getting up in front of people. And something that a friend of mine told me just always kind of reminds me anytime I get up on stage. I have a friend named Mark Rimland, and he's an artistic savant. He's an incredible painter in San Diego. And he's in his 60s, and yet he has the soul of just a little boy, and we spent a lot of time together. Dustin Hoffman based a lot of his character for Rain Man on Mark's personality. And a few years ago, we went up to Anaheim to do a Defeat Autism conference, and I was standing with Mark off to the side of the stage, and he was going to walk up on stage and present one of his paintings in front of thousands and thousands of people. And I asked him, I said, Mark, are you nervous? Actually, I've never known you to be nervous or anxious a single day in all of our friendship. And he looked at me and he said, well, Gregory, that would interfere with my happiness. There's a feeling inside I can't explain. I'm gonna try my best, gonna find a way. I hang my hat wherever I roam. I'm a welcome guest, but I'm never home. In your arms I'm found. Dance me all around. Lift me off the ground so I can fly. Wake me from my sleep. Bring me to my knees. Make me feel like I am alive. Oh, I'm alive. There ain't no room to explain. Lord only knows I have tried in vain. I sing like hell every show. I'm a welcome guest, but I'm never home. In your arms I'm found. Dance me all around. Lift me off the ground so I can fly. Wake me from my sleep. Bring me to my knees. Make me feel like I am alive. Oh, I'm alive. In your arms I'm found. Dance me all around. Lift me off the ground so I can fly. Wake me from my sleep. Bring me to my knees. Make me feel like I am alive. Oh, I'm alive.
And this is Gregory Page. Thank you, Gregory. Woo. I'm alive. I can feel it. I sense it. Hey, Rebecca, thank you. We should really get a roadie for you, so you're not doing that. At least I could have done. Yeah, you do it all. We are blessed. Anyway, hey, this is the time of our service where we pass the offering basket. But we're not doing that for another 2 weeks. So I just want to remind you, it's sitting there at the door. But it's a time in which we'll still do our affirmation of abundance. And I invite you to add your energy and your thoughts and your love to the collective consciousness of this community. That as you give and you support this in your heart and your soul, and in the baskets on the way out. But you'll find that you open yourself up. You create space for more of that divine download. You create that space for Spirit to show up in your life. You realign yourself. That brings a sense of peace and a sense of security that your source is infinite. That even when you're in the middle, all that is necessary to get you to that finish line of what you saw as a possibility is already in place. And I'm honoring it now. I'm acknowledging it now. And you will find that the gates of good continue to open open up and pour forth blessings. So I just invite you to open your heart. And those of you who are at home, you get to participate. You hit those tabs, or you do Venmo or Breeze. And a big shout out to everyone who has sent in their contributions and their gifts and are part of our auto tithe program, just who signed up at the beginning of the year and said, hey, count me in, for supporting this community every week or every month, whatever your arrangement was. But I want to remind you, we made it through this last year and a half because of those that said, hey, I'm in alignment and partnership with Spirit, showing up at Seaside, and we continue to be there for all of you when you're at home. So, hey, let's say together this affirmation of abundance, and that is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Those are our guys from Seaside. Always too short. I love your playing. That's Bob blowing that sax for 30 years here at Seaside. That's Harley there in the back plucking that bass fiddle. And that is Paul there on those skins. And Max on the Paul Lloyd Warner Busendorfer. Great job. And Gregory, thank you so much for finding your way to Seaside. Looking forward to you joining Rebecca and bringing Woodstock here to Seaside. We're ready. We want it. You want Woodstock done? Yeah, that's our jam, man. That's our era around here. You weren't ready. You weren't around yet, Rebecca, but it was good. At least that's what those who can remember tell me. Anyway, thank you for all the love you bring us. I know you're singing at Agape next week, so give Reverend Michael our love from Seaside, and you have a great time. We'll miss you. But we'll keep voting for you. Best video and song in San Diego, and this year is yours. We know it. Hey, Ed, thanks for the sound. Marv, thanks for the visuals. Steve Grant and Patrick in the editing room. We can't see behind that mysterious wall like Oz, but they're doing good because you at home get to see them. I want you to know that. Tim behind the camera, Edwin behind the camera. Hey, I'm sorry about your Lakers, Edwin. Take a moment of silence, in honoring them. But anyway, hey, there's a lot of good that's going on at Seaside, so take a look at the classes that are coming up. The Solstice celebration with the Seaside Sisters this Wednesday night service with Jennifer. You just go to that new set website and click live stream Wednesday night, and you'll learn how to lean into it. And so anyway, also, you don't see here today is, he's at the first service, but Robert, along with a couple other people from Seaside, did that 28-mile walk for Make-A-Wish Foundation. They had signed up last year with other people from Seaside, and they finally got to do it this year. I want you to be aware that everybody who supported them and their support, on behalf of Seaside, they raised for Make-A-Wish Foundation $14,987 we contributed to that organization. So very exciting for sure. So a lot of goods going on. Graduation day, but I got to tell you, graduation, we're sitting here with excitement for what lies before those who are commencing their journey. But I want you to know, as you go through that journey and you make it through the middle, there's a position that only few ever arrive at called emeritus. And we have here today, the Dr. Sheila and Brian Anderson, who had a practitioner for more than a couple decades serving your community. And, when you decided to, step into your level of ministry now and hang out here on Sundays with us, we were filled with joy. But some of your practitioners arrived. And this particular one, I would love for you to honor right here for everybody because she is reaching this status of emeritus. So you want to come on up here, or you want me to bring a mic down there, or where would you like to be? Hey, Sheila, good to see you.
Well, good morning. Hey, Esther. We are here to honor Esther Ramirez Jones. Reverend Brian and I started at Vista back in 1986. I'm dating myself. Yes, I remember Woodstock. And it wasn't but a few years after we started at Vista that a lady walked through our doors who has just impacted our lives in ways I could just never explain. She went on to be a practitioner, but she's not a person who's just being a practitioner when she's on stage. She is a practitioner. She's a practitioner wherever she goes, whoever she meets. I've watched this lady just change lives by her mere presence. And I'd like to share something I found the other day that I think not only describes Esther, but really the essence of what it means to be a practitioner. It's called A Medicine Woman's Prayer. I will not rescue you, for you are not powerless. I will not fix you, for you are not broken. I will not heal you, for I see you in your wholeness. I will walk with you through the darkness as you remember your light. So today I want to honor a practitioner emeritus, well-deserved.
This is difficult. This is being at the end and at the middle at the same time. I wrote this, Esther, and I thank you for giving us this space. You're so generous, Christian. You and Callie are just amazing.
It's your family. It's your community.
And this community and the talk you gave us, the world should hear it.
I agree with that. But,
Esther, I do too. Ernest Holmes wrote, joy and enthusiasm are the very essence of life. For over almost 22 years, Esther has assisted me as a practitioner in every Science of Mind class of practitioner for 22 years at the Vista Church of Religious Science, which is now, we are now the Centers for Spiritual Living. You've given that. And here's the way it was. She would walk into the room with so much brightness and so much aliveness and so much joy that people would practically heal, learn Science of Mind treatment, and love in her presence. And one of the things they always said this about you. They said, in Esther's presence, I always love myself. That's who she is. She constantly brings joy to my life. She's a practitioner everywhere she goes. And her next new risk and win and going for it is she's now with her love and her compassion, her depth, her understanding, her listening to people, and her being with them without trying to change them, just loving them. She's now becoming a practitioner in full time as a hospice worker, and she's now a volunteer. So, Esther, it's your turn to say something.
Thank you. It has been an honor and a privilege to be of service with and for Reverend Brian and Dr. Sheila. These were the best years of my life. I grew, I learned, and I met wonderful friends, so I thank you all for allowing me this great blessing. Thank you.
Yeah. Esther, take your mask off. Let them see that sparkle that makes people love themselves. All right. Thank you. Beautiful. All right. Oh, I love you. Great going. Thank you for the gift of Esther at Seaside. We are blessed by it, for sure. Esther, I see her every week. She does checking at Trader Joe's, and she takes that smile and that love and that pure spirit to that. And here, Brian forgot to give you your emeritus certificate from the organization and the community spiritual leader. So. Doesn't have to pay licensing fees. So, anyways, hey, I want to pray. We're just blessed by this consciousness, and I just thank the Esther clan filling up the front row. It's the first time the front row has been filled in a year and a half. So every seat with people in it. It's just a vision of what is on its way. And so it's with this sense of joy that I step into this prayerful consciousness, this feeling, this sense, this life, this love, this glory of God made manifest in this moment, in time and space, with the Seaside consciousness emerging not only here in the physical location as the light on top of the hill, but a beacon that transcends the physical into the virtual world, touching everyone online today and into the future. For the presence of God is omnipresent. It is here, it is there, it is everywhere. It's at the beginning, it's at the end, and it's in the middle, for there is no beginning or end. It is all now, and it's in this now moment I come from with this prayer of a divine recognition of the life force, of the love, of the well-being, that God is the joy, that smile and twinkle that shows up on Esther's face. It is the presence that moves through each and every one of us with a sense of joy and trust and faith and well-being. It is that which is in and through all things, for it is all things, and I know right now that each and every one of us is of that God nature. If God is infinite, then the truth of you is you are of that. There is not that and you. There is Spirit, infinite, the one and only, and I am and you are that, expressing at the level of our faith. It can be negative, it can be positive, but this is how it works. So it's in this moment I choose to become conscious of my faithful choices. I courageously look at those spots in my world that are not working and know that the power is mine to make adjustments, and there is no large or small. To God, God's all. There's not, oh, this is a biggie and that one's, hey, no problem. That's my thinking. God is in and through all things, and I choose to activate at this moment. So if there's anyone who's near and dear to your heart in this moment that is going through a difficulty, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, that's what we do in this human incarnation. It's part of the human experience, but it's not the spiritual truth. I invite you in this moment to lift into this God vibration, this higher realization, that truth, lift into this light, the divine ideal of the perfect nature of this situation. For with God, all things are possible. Not some, all things are possible. So many more things are possible when you know it's impossible. And I know with God, all things are possible. So I step into this knowingness. I ride the curtails of the divine. I take that rocket of spirit, knowing that God is the propulsion, it is the light. And I'm willing to take a look at any of those areas of my life that there is trepidation or there is concern. And choose to see the God truth. To see with the eyes of God. I'm willing to take off the blindfold and the hood. It's in this moment I know in a deep way that all is well. Not that it's going to be, that all is well now. And whatever it is, that is a question, is within the human mind. And so I step into the God frequency, if you would. Can't really be delineated or articulated, but I step into that vibration. And I do not need to point it, direct it. I just step into that light and allow it to move through me. And healing happens. Guides the universe and knows how to take care of my world. If I get myself out of the way, I get myself out of the way. And I begin to take a look at every one of those precarious dynamics in my world and life with the eyes of the divine vibration. And healing happens. Transformation unfolds. Revelation fills the moment. And I see, I understand, I let go to that. I'm grateful that this is the truth. I'm grateful that every prayer request that has been brought to our prayer chest is now fulfilled, that the practitioners in the prayer rooms today speak the words of the God truth, and healing happens. See, that's the natural expression of life. You go one way, and healing happens. Get off the path, healing happens. It's not drama. It's not anxiety. I look at it courageously, and I step onto the stage of life and know that I'm willing to become. Because I have faith. Not the faith in anything outside myself. Ernest is real clear. It's the faith of God, not a faith in something outside. It's the faith of God that heals. And so I choose to be that place that the faith of God is manifesting in richness and abundance and wealth and flow and creativity and life expression. That I step forth in this world courageously, knowing that all that is necessary to fulfill that for which I am charged to do is now. And so I say thank you. Thank you that the words we shared, they're the truth. We know our graduates today are truly blessed on their path. We know Esther, in her new status of emeritus, just continues to shine that twinkle and smile and light, whether it's the checkout stand or Trader Joe's or in the pews of Seaside or in her new hospice work. She is a conduit of God expression. So I'm grateful in this moment to see Spirit showing up all around. And I let go to this. I trust this. I believe. I let go. And I just allow God with an unshakable conviction to have its way as my life now. And so it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit from my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Said no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Say I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Say no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Come on, Seaside, sing it. Release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. My heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Said no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
That's right. There you go, Rebecca. Woo. Hey, our affirmation for the week is, God is with me every step of my journey. Together, God is with me every step of my journey. Touch your heart and say it again. God is with me every step of the journey. One more time, like it's your truth. God is with me every step of my journey. And our song of grace.
I'm living in love. I'm living in peace. I'm living my life for what I believe. Through joys and through fears, in this world I walk. God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living
a wonderful week, Seaside. Have a beautiful week.